forget the image of brutal cave dwellers. What if the most profound human quality, kindness, has roots far deeper than we ever imagined? For centuries, we've focused on conflict in our origins. The real story might be about connection. Prepare to have your perceptions of early humanity completely transformed as we explore the surprising moments kindness first evolved. Imagine walking into a museum and seeing an exhibit titled Kindness, a History. You might be confused. Isn't kindness just something we always had? But what if that's not true? What if this quality that seems so ingrained in us was actually a recent development in our history? Our perception of humanity's past is often dominated by images of conflict and competition. We think of our ancestors as ferocious hunters, always ready to fight for survival. But could there have been more to our distant relatives than just struggle and strife? Did they also possess a capacity for kindness? This might sound like a strange question, but it's one that scientists are beginning to take very seriously. In today's episode, we will be doing something different. Instead of focusing on aggression or competition, we will try to understand the origins of kindness. We'll look at some of the earliest evidence for this behavior in our hominid relatives. And we'll also explore how new discoveries are changing the way we think about the evolution of our species. So let's jump back in. Now, exploring the evolution of kindness may seem like a surprisingly modern pursuit. After all, isn't kindness something we associate with contemporary humans? It's a value we teach our children, a virtue we admire in others. How can something so quintessentially us have roots in our distant past? It might seem even stranger when we consider how often conflict and competition are seen as the driving forces of evolution itself. But here's the thing. Kindness is not merely a product of our social niceties. It's a fundamental part of our survival strategy. Think about it. Humans are not the biggest, fastest, or strongest creatures on the planet. Yet our species has managed to spread across the globe and thrive in countless environments. Much of this success can be attributed to our ability to cooperate in large numbers. We work together, share resources, and care for one another, even at personal risk. These behaviors, which are rooted in kindness, have been key to our species' survival and advancement, and they are not limited to humans. Other animals display cooperation too, but the scale and complexity of human cooperation are unique. Our ability to form large-scale alliances, show compassion, and engage in altruistic behavior sets us apart. And these abilities didn't just evolve overnight. They developed over millions of years, shaped by natural selection, just like any other adaptation. But where did these adaptations come from? How did they evolve? That's where our story really begins. To trace the origins of kindness, we need to go back in time long before our species even existed. We need to look at our hominid relatives, those who came before us on the evolutionary tree of life. One of the most well-known hominids is, of course, Homo neanderthalensis, or simply the Neanderthals. They lived in Europe and parts of Asia from around 400,000 to 40,000 years ago. They were stocky, muscular, with a receding forehead and a prominent brow ridge. Neanderthals were skilled hunters, living in small groups and relying on the use of tools and fire. For a long time, they were thought to be uncivilized and brutish, a caricature of humanity's supposed primitiveness. Okay. However, recent studies have painted a much different picture. Okay. One of the most significant discoveries related to Neanderthal kindness came from the analysis of their skeletons. Researchers found evidence that Neanderthals suffered injuries common among modern humans who participate in non-violent activities such as farming. These findings suggest that Neanderthals likely engaged in agricultural practices, challenging the long-held belief that they were solely nomadic hunters. Moreover, studies of their burial rituals revealed a surprising level of ritualization and care. Neanderthals buried their dead with symbolic gestures, suggesting a complex understanding of death and a capacity for empathy and compassion. This stands in stark contrast to the commonly held view of them as uncivilized brutes. The discovery of pigments used by Neanderthals for body decoration and cave painting further complicates this picture. These findings indicate a level of abstract thinking and creativity previously thought to be uniquely human. Furthermore, genetic studies have shown that Neanderthals interbred with Homo sapiens, our species, leaving a lasting impact on the genetic makeup of modern humans. This mixing of genes challenges the traditional view of Neanderthals as a separate and inferior species, suggesting instead a complex web of interactions and exchanges between different hominid groups. But perhaps even more intriguing is the possibility that Neanderthals exhibited acts of kindness towards outsiders. One remarkable example is the discovery of a Neanderthal man with an arrowhead embedded in his knee. Analysis suggests that rather than being the victim of an attack, he received assistance from his community, who cared for him and allowed him to continue living for several years. This level of compassion and care for a vulnerable member of their group is a testament to the Neanderthals' capacity for kindness and challenges. The stereotypical image of them as inherently aggressive and violent. These discoveries paint a rich and nuanced picture of Neanderthal society. They were not just brutish brutes, but highly intelligent, creative, and compassionate beings. Their story is a reminder that our understanding of the past is constantly evolving, and that our perceptions of ancient societies should be approached with nuance and respect. Another fascinating hominid we can look to is Homo habilis, also known as the handy man. They lived in Africa from as early as 2.4 million years ago and were one of the first members of the genus Homo. Homo habilis were small, with a brain size slightly larger than that of chimpanzees. They were adept tool users and makers, hence their name. They played a crucial role in the development of human history. Being one of the earliest tool-making species, they helped initiate a technological revolution that would define our species. However, what truly sets them apart is the evidence of their social complexity. Homo habilis lived in groups and interacted in ways that were more intricate than previously thought. Analysis of their social structure suggests a level of cooperation and interdependence that required not just brute strength or intelligence, but also kindness and empathy. For instance, the presence of healed fractures on their bones indicates that they helped and cared for injured members of their group, a behavior that is fundamentally linked to kindness. Such care would have been essential for their survival, ensuring that the sick or injured were able to recover and rejoin the group. This communal support system, born out of kindness, likely played a vital role in their overall success as a species. Moreover, the emergence of language and communication abilities during this period cannot be understated. While there is no direct evidence of language from this early in human history, the anatomical changes in the vocal tract and brain regions associated with language suggest that communication became increasingly sophisticated. This development would have facilitated cooperation and social bonding, laying the groundwork for more complex social interactions and ultimately contributing to the evolution of kindness. In essence, Homo habilis were not just the first of the handy men, but also the first of the kind men, displaying a nascent form of kindness that set the stage for our own capacity for compassion and empathy. Our exploration of the origins of kindness has taken us back through time, introducing us to relatives who challenge our perceptions of humanity's past. From the compassionate Neanderthals to the cooperative Homo habilis, we've seen that kindness is not a modern invention, but a deeply rooted part of our evolutionary journey. It's a trait that has been with us since the dawn of our existence, and has played a pivotal role in our survival and advancement. As we continue to unearth new discoveries, our understanding of the past will continue to evolve. The story of human evolution is not just one of conflict and competition, but also of connection and care. The story of kindness. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and leave a comment below with your thoughts on the evolution of kindness. Your comments help shape our future videos. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time, and for your support in exploring the fascinating world of human evolution. Stay curious.